Today, I wanted to focus our class on the idea of ease and breathing and softening and floating. And this has come up a lot recently as people are struggling with things in the world that bring frustration in their lives, and things are perhaps not as we think they should be. And so often I invite people to use the phrase, of course, but sometimes that's not enough. And so this idea of when we stop struggling, we float has come up many times. The idea of dancing in the rain has come up. And so this idea of whatever brings you ease, whatever helps you soften, is what is most useful for you. And so the invitation today is to use the breath to help you do that. I shared the thought of breaths as tiny love notes for your body. And that really resonated with me. So I thought we would bring that in to help us float, to help us soften, and to help us find ease. So with that, find a comfortable seat on your mat or wherever you're sitting. And if you're sitting on a block, you can even have two blocks to create a wider base if that feels good, or a bolster, or whatever feels nice to get your hips above your knees, to soften the hip flexors where we carry tons of tightness. And with intention, tilt your pelvic bowl forward and stack your spine all the way up through your neck to the crown of your head. Rest your hands lightly on your thighs. They can be up or down, whichever feels right for you. And take in a deep cleansing inhale. Stretch the spine tall, crown of the head to the sky. And exhale, let it go. And another huge inhale. If you wish to close your eyes, go for it. And an exhale, let it go. Thinking about that oxygen circulating through your body as you breathe in, let it percolate, travel through all the blood vessels, through all the little alveoli, sending little love notes everywhere, little bit of light coming into every dark, tight spot and corner to soften it. Huge inhale. And an exhale. And pause for a moment and just notice perhaps some tingles in your fingers and your toes. Does that feel different? Is it heading to places that feel soft or tight, places of resistance, places that are getting in the way of letting you float? Use the breath to bring in lightness, to bring in hope, to bring in softness, to bring in kindness. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And there don't have to be huge inhales, just a soft inhale, long and smooth, and an evenly matched, smooth exhale. Matching the inhale and the exhale brings calm, brings attention, and it brings focus. Once again, visualize the breath sending little love notes all around through your body to any pockets that perhaps you carry pain, distress, frustration, tightness, hollowness, anxiety. If there's that pocket of grapefruit that feels just tense and pressured, send the breath there, a tiny little love note of support and kindness. And as you breathe out, soften, allow the ease, knowing that there's nothing to fix in this moment. And whether you choose to float or dance in the rain, can you just let go of that weary perseverance, the need to fix and solve and struggle, and instead allow yourself to just be. Bring a hand to heart and the other hand to top. Acknowledging for a moment that allowing yourself to just be, to soften, to float, and to find ease might be uncomfortable. Just breathe into that discomfort to soften that thought, the judgment. And let it all go with the breath. Use the breath to send yourself those little bits of sparkle, little bits of golden light. Exhale, let it go. On my retreats, we meditate in the golden light at Sagrada, and you can literally feel that golden light travel through you. So envision that here as you breathe in the light and the love and the kindness and the softness, whatever that feeling is, breathe it in with spaciousness into every nook and cranny of tightness and resistance to your life and the world as it is, and the things that should be different or you'd like to be different, softening them up. And exhaling into a little bit more ease, allowing yourself to float and enjoy. 2 more breaths here, whatever that looks like for you. Breaths that are soft and easeful. Breaths that are kind and loving, sending it everywhere. Bring your hands to heart. And set an intention to bring a little bit more softness, a little bit more ease, a little bit more love, and a little bit more floating, whatever any of those looks like in your life this week. Where can you bring them in? Whichever one resonates more, feels more right for you. Take in an inhale to seal that in as you press your thumbs into your sternum. Exhale, let the tension and the resistance just float away. When you're ready, lower your hands to your lap and open your eyes if they're closed and let the light in. Giving yourself a moment to accommodate and adjust and arrive softly, easefully, perhaps a floating arrival. Not a grounded, stuck, heavy. Floating is light. Taking another breath here with the eyes open. Sending that light and love all over, and exhale, let it go. Bring your hands by your sides. Inhale them up towards the sky. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms up, reach tall, 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 stretch your side body. Inhale fully. Exhale, round forward. Come into seated cat and enjoy. The back opens. Breathe into it. Inhale, reach up in whatever way that looks for you. Adjust if needed. Be kind. Exhale, round. Suck your navel in. Enjoy the stretch, whatever it feels like to you. Inhale, reach tall once again. Slight arch back. Exhale, round forward, suck the navel in, enjoy. Allow it to be easeful. Inhale, reach tall towards the sky once again. Gently tilt to the right, stretch the whole left side body. Inhale. Exhale, if it feels good, blow it out over the left shoulder. Inhale. And exhale in a way that feels good. Stretch a little bit farther if that works for you. One more breath here. Inhale. And enjoy on the exhale, blowing it all away. Engage your belly. Reach towards the sky once again. Connect your sit bones downward on the exhale. Inhale the light and the love, little love notes circulating everywhere. Stretch tall, reach tall. Exhale, tilt to the left this time. Right side body stretches. Enjoy it, whatever it looks like for you. Inhale, fill yourself up with kindness, love, support, light, ease. Exhale, let the stress float away. Come back to center. Open your arms out towards the sides. Reclasp them at your sacrum. Press your fist towards the floor, shoulders down and back. Inhale once again. Bring the breath in. Tiny love notes everywhere as different pockets of the lungs open up here. Fill that pocket behind the heart with breath. Exhale, smooth, long, and easeful. One more huge breath, lightening the space in the chest. Sending the golden light everywhere. And exhale, let it go. Shoulders down and back. Release your arms back out towards the side. Wrap them around you. Give yourself a hug. Wiggle those fingers towards the midline of the scapula, wherever you can reach. Lift the elbows up over your chest and lower them down with kindness. Roll forward, drop your chin into the cradle of your arms. Allow your head and neck to release. A huge inhale here, squeeze tight. And exhale, relax into the floating. Letting go of resistance. Inhale, bring your chin up to shoulder height. Untangle your arms, stretch them wide towards the side walls. Pinch your scapula together and release. Wrap your arms in the opposite direction, left elbow under right. Another hug. Wiggle those fingers towards the scapula, whatever it looks like. Lift up the elbows. Drop your head and neck into the cradle of your arms. A huge inhale here, bathing yourself with breath. Love, kindness, friendship, whatever it looks like, softness. Exhale, let it go. One more breath here. Fill every nook and cranny of the back body that opens here. And exhale, let it go. Bring your chin back up to neutral. Untangle your arms, stretch them to the side walls, and lower them down. Roll your shoulders back 3 times with kindness. And roll them forward 3 times. And pause. Notice how you feel. Perhaps more light, perhaps more able to float, more able to soften in. Notice for a moment if there are pockets that need attention. Take an inhale and send the breath there. On the exhale, soften once more. If you are sitting on something, take a moment and move it out of the way, and we'll come to sit on the floor. Extend your legs long in front. Move that flesh of the seat out of the way. With kindness, connect your sit bones, ischial spines downward. Flex your knees slightly. Hips shift, hinge slightly. Ankles flexed. Spread your toes wide, 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 letting in the light and the energy and the softness in through the toes. Taking an inhale and an exhale. Engage your belly, raise your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, fold forward easily over the toes. Let your head and neck release. Allow it to be easeful. Stretch the back body, enjoy it. Breathe in every nook and cranny. Exhale, if you wish, bring your knees towards the floor, noticing weakening in the backs of the legs. Take an inhale into every pocket there that feels tight, that's calling out. And exhale, with ease, fold forward a tiny bit more to soften. One more inhale. And an exhale, let it out. Slowly walk your hands up your shins, to your knees, to your thighs. And notice how you feel. Wiggle your toes, have fun with it. Engage your belly. Sweep your knees around, come to hands and knees. Pause here for a moment. Notice how you feel. Engage your belly, engage your hands, engage the tops of your feet into the earth. Spread your feet wide. Spread your fingers wide, pardon me. Inhale, reach your sit bones and the crown of your head towards the sky. Open up the front body. Send the breath into every nook and cranny there. Exhale, round up into cat and enjoy it. Bathing your body with breath. Inhale, crown of the head reaches towards the sky. Sit bones reach high, high, high. Exhale, round. Suck your navel all the way up towards the sky. Once more, inhale for cow, bathing every nook and cranny with softness and ease. Exhale, round with kindness, so whatever feels good. Take a moment to notice. Come back to center and pause for just a moment. Walk your hands forward and handprint. Curl your toes and lift right up to downward dog. And take a moment here to notice how you feel. Press one heel down, bend the other knee. Switch sides. Alternate 3 or 4 more times.
Don't forget to breathe. Send the breath everywhere. Softening in. Press into your hands. Shift your hips all the way up towards the sky. Lower your head towards the floor. Lift up onto your tiptoes as high as you can with intention, engaging everything in the legs. Slowly lower your heels down. Notice all the shifts. See if even here in this position, can you soften into this idea of floating? Can you float here, upside down, letting go of the resistance, being in this pose with ease, even though it may not feel easeful? Huge inhale into the chest space, into all the pockets of your lungs and behind the heart that open up here. Fill every nook and cranny with love, kindness, compassion, energy, oxygen. Send it to every little alveoli. Let it do its work. Flush out all the old stuff. And exhale, let it go. And notice the lightness on the exhale, the softness. One more inhale everywhere. And exhale on the softness. On the exhale, soften into it. Lower down a little more if that works for you. And notice all the sensations. Things popping alive, coming awake, yet light. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Come into a forward fold. Bring your hands to your elbows, lift up all 10 toes and fold forward, release. Lower your toes, engage your belly, release your elbows, and roll up inch by inch by inch by inch. Head will be the last to rise. Notice the shifts here and enjoy them. Notice the blood flow coming into your fingers. And pause for a moment when you arrive. Close your eyes and see if you can float here. Even as you stand tall, everything engaged, belly engaged. With the eyes closed, do you have a sensation of floating just as the blood flow shifts and moves? Huge inhale and an exhale. Noticing that floating takes some practice. Bring your hands to heart center. Press your palms together. Thumbs come to the sternum. Lift up onto your tiptoes as high as you can. And pause here for a moment. Noticing the wiggles and the wobbles with compassion and kindness. Take in a deep breath here. Exhale, let it go. Slowly lower down, heels still up in the air. Bend your knees, lower down all the way to the floor. Using intention and attention to every little muscle group needed. When you arrive at the bottom, pause. Take in a breath. Exhale, release. Focus on your navel as you begin to stand up, inch by inch by inch. Heels up, floating in the air. Stand as tall as you can when you reach the top. Tall, 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 pause, high, 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 everything engaged. And slowly lower your heels down. Lower your hands down and notice how you feel. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Lower the toes of the left foot into the earth. Raise your right knee up to hip height. Bring your left hand to the right thigh. Reach your right hand behind you. Come into a balanced twist. Notice what you need here. Take an inhale. If it works for you, look behind towards your right hand. If you need to hold on to something, do that. Huge inhale here in the twist. Exhale, release. Twist back to center. Bring your hands to heart center. Knee is still up at 90 degrees. Extend your toe long in front. Balance and float here. Bend your knee. Straight your knee. Notice the wobbles, and when you soften in and allow yourself ease, it works better.
bend your knee. Once again, straight your leg long, bend your knee, and lower down. Roll your ankles, roll your feet, shake yourself out, and ground your right foot into the earth. Lift up all 5 toes on the right foot, lower them down. Grow tall through the right leg up into your belly. Use your belly for strength and stability. Bring your left knee up to hip height, 90-degree angle at the knee. Right hand comes to the left knee. Left hand comes behind. A standing twist balance. You can use the wall if you wish. Inhale right into your belly. Exhale, let it go. If you wish, you can gaze behind to that left hand. Notice everything that's working. Soften into it. Exhale, let it go. Twist back to center. Bring your hands to heart center. Use the thumbs in against your sternum and find a spot on the floor in front that's not moving if you need more balance and more stability. Inhale, extend your left leg. Exhale, bend to 90. Inhale, extend, soften into the wobbles. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lengthen, float here. Exhale, bend your knee and lower down, shake it out. Notice any gripping in any spot and send the breath there, here. And exhale, soften the grip. Take a moment to arrive here. Connect some roots downward. Noticing that storms create deeper roots. Send your roots into the earth and suck up that energy up through your legs. Bring it into your arms and reach your arms up towards the sky. Slight arch back, fold forward, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift, spine is straight, butt sticks out. Exhale, lower down. Walk your hands forward to downward dog once again and pause for a moment. Huge inhale into all the spots around the heart space that open up here into the chest, sending the breath, kindness, ease, softening everywhere. With intention, and exhale, let it go. Spread your fingers wide, strong base. Notice the balls of your feet ground into the earth. Engage your belly, raise your right leg towards the sky. 3-legged dog, everything engaged here. Heel presses into the back wall, strong, strong, strong. Stack your hips, bend your knee, open the right hip and roll the right ankle, however feels good to you. With intention, soften your neck. Relax. Even here, soften in. Straighten the right leg, heel presses to the back wall. Everything strong and engaged once again. Press the heel firm, firm, firm into the back wall. Inhale deeply. Exhale, bring your knee in between your hands. Rise up into a high lunge here. This is another balanced pose, a bit of floating. Arms reach towards the sky. Wiggle the right toes farther in front if your knee is not, your knee should be behind your ankle. Inhale, stretch your fingers tall, 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 and exhale, sink into it. You'll likely feel something in the front of the left hip. Back heel should be off the ground, both toes jet line towards the front of the mat. Inhale, stretch your fingers tall, tall, tall. Breathe into all the nooks and crannies of both side bodies. Exhale, sink in. Once again, reach tall, tall, tall. Everything engaged. Exhale, sink into it. Right thumb and middle finger grasp the left wrist. Stretch tall to the sky. Exhale, tilts towards the right. Breathe into the tightness. Exhale, sink in a tiny bit more. Come back to center. Lower your hands to heart center. Hinge at the waist, tilt forward halfway. Hook your left elbow over the right knee, coming into a high lunge twist. Palms can stay together. If you wish, you can take a block and use that for the twist. You can put a hand on the earth and reach your hand to the sky, or Stay balanced. One more breath here. Exhale, let it go. Come back to center. Rise upright. We're going to press off the back foot and shift forward into warrior three. Strong standing leg, another balanced pose. Shift into this pose, transition into it well. The way we shift is usually the most impactful on our balance. Set yourself up well to float. Press off the back foot, shift your weight into the front foot, tilt your torso forward to be in line with your hips, raise the back leg up, come into warrior three. Notice the wiggles and the wobbles with compassion. Use the breath to send yourself any tight muscles, nooks and crannies that need attention, and breathe into it. Envision yourself floating here. Perhaps you want to raise your arms out towards the sides, back like Superman, have fun with it, or hands to heart center. Soften in. And notice what feels good today. It might be different than before. You can also use the wall here if you need. 2 more breaths here. With intention, focus on floating. Lower the back leg, come back to a high lunge. Just pause for a moment here. Reach your arms back up towards the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Hop the back foot forward and come into a pyramid pose. Tap that right hip back and the left hip forward. Notice how it feels. If you have blocks, grab them. If not, fine. If you have the blocks, press your fists on them and flatten your spine, lifting up into a flat back. Exhale, soften and fold downward. Release your head and neck. Notice the sensations in the back of the legs, whatever they might be. Just notice. If it would feel good, raise all the toes on your right foot and lower them down. Lift up onto the toes of the back foot. Heel rises up and lower it down. Fold forward a bit more wherever you are and come to stillness. Notice in the stillness and in the pause is where you feel most soft. Notice if anywhere is still gripping, and can you soften it to encourage the sense of floating? Huge inhale here. And exhale, let it go. Hop the back foot forward to meet the front foot. Stick your sit bones back down and low and come into chair pose in whatever version works for you and your shoulders. We're all different. Sink your hips back down and low. Hands can either be at heart center, raised up by your ears, whatever feels good to you. Notice all the sensations in your legs, sinking those hips back down and low. Breathe in, sending little notes everywhere. And exhale, soften. Inhale, exhale, sink those hips down a tiny bit lower. Drop your hands, shoot your hips up towards the sky, head and neck release. Notice all the sensations circulating around. In this forward fold. Perhaps widen your feet a little bit if that would feel good. Left palm lands on the earth, spread your fingers wide, bend your left knee, twist to the right. Roll the right wrist out. Enjoy everything that's happening in the right leg, whatever it might be for you. Soften into it, allow the tension to just float away, creating a lightness for you to float through the rest of your day, in your weekend and the week ahead, no matter what is swirling around you. Lower your right hand, bend your right knee straight, your left knee, twist to the left. Same thing. Just notice. It may be very different on this side. Your wrist may want something different.
Allow yourself to soften in, whatever that looks like. Notice that when you soften in, the ease that comes. Bring your left hand back to the floor or where the blocks. Engage your belly and roll up inch by inch by inch by inch by inch. Head will be the last to rise. Notice the blood flow shift here. And enjoy it. Lots and lots and lots of sensation flowing through. Wiggle your fingers lightly, your toes lightly. Envision yourself here, close your eyes if that feels good to you, floating on a lake, letting all the tension melt. Using the breath to circulate those good feelings to every nook and cranny, allowing them in, bathing yourself with all the good stuff. And exhale, softening even more, floating with the currents, enjoying the breeze, noticing perhaps the chill of that cold water. Huge inhale once again. And an exhale, let it go. Open your eyes if they're closed. And take a minute to ground your feet into the earth once again. Connect downward. We're going to do a standing figure 4. If you have blocks, you may want them. And just do what works for you. If you've never done this before, it's kind of fun. It's quite a bit like floating, but you might find it challenging as well. Lift up your left toes and lower them down. Raise your right knee up towards hip height. Turn it out towards the right. Place your right ankle on the left knee. Bring your hands to heart center and gently sit back into a balancing figure 4. You may notice that you want your blocks. You can use them underneath you for balance, or you can bring your hands to heart center and balance here. Sink down in a little bit lower, hips down and back. No judgment for the wobbles or the tips, just enjoy the experience. Enjoy the opening in the right hip. Notice how it feels, send the breath there. If you want more opening, use blocks or use the floor. Huge breath in, sending kindness to everything here that's working. And slowly rise back upright, appreciating all the wobbles. Untangle your legs and come back to standing. Shake it out, softening in, releasing any tension. Come back to center. Lift up onto your heels, rise up high and lower down. Lift up your toes, lower down. Using your toes for balance, for a little extra rootedness, a little extra strength. Raise your left foot, hook it on in front of the right knee, the left ankle. Sink your hips back down and low, coming into a balanced figure 4 here. Notice how it feels. If you wish, you can use your blocks. Do what feels good and fun. And notice if you feel like you're floating here a little bit. Exhale, release. One more breath. Slowly rise up from wherever you are. Uncross your leg, lower it down. Notice any shaking, wiggles, wobbles. Kindly release the ankles. And reground your feet. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower your hands by your sides. Open them out and up with grace. Stretch back, slight arch back. Fold forward, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift, spine is straight, sit bones stick back towards the back. Exhale, fold forward and enjoy it. Plant your palms on the earth. Step back to plank, top of the push-up. Drop your heels to the left. We're going to come into a side plank. Reach your right arm up towards the sky. Another somewhat floating pose.
If it inspires, reach your right arm long over the right ear, stretch the whole right side body, have fun with it. Inhale deeply. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, send little love notes into everything on the right side. The very bottom of those right ribs exposed here. Exhale, release. Reach your right arm towards the sky. Lower back to plank. Pause for a moment. Get yourself organized. Transition well. Set yourself up for success. Inhale. Exhale, drop your heels to the right. Reach the left fingers towards the sky. Side plank on this side. If it inspires, lower the left hand over the left ear. Stretch the whole left side body. Exhale, release, stretch long. One more huge inhale here. Exhale, let it go. Reach the left hand towards the sky. Come back to plank. Press back to downward dog. And pause here. Notice how you feel. 3 breaths in stillness. Despite the muscles working, is there more of a sensation of relaxation and softness? Often after the work is where the floating sensation comes. Huge breaths, bathing every cell with love and kindness and compassion and oxygen. Releasing tension, blowing it away, finding ease. Ground the right ball of the foot into the earth. Connect both hands into the earth. Spread your fingers wide, a strong, stable base. Draw your attention to your navel. Inhale, raise your left leg towards the sky, a 3-legged dog. Belly strong and square, left heel presses into the wall. Everything engaged and awake, supporting you, but with ease, not resistance. Bend the left knee, stack the hip, roll it out. Roll your ankle in one direction and then the other. Send the breath into that front of that right hip. Find ease here, soften. Re-square your hip, everything strong and stable as you move. Inhale deeply. Exhale, bring the left foot between your hands, rise up slowly into a high lunge. And take a minute to get organized as you arrive. You may need to widen your base for more stability. Both toes jet line towards the front of the mat. Back heel is off the earth. Raise both arms up towards the sky. Perhaps wiggle the front toes forward so the knee is not extended beyond the ankle. Inhale, stretch tall. Exhale, sink in. Send the love to the front of that right hip. Inhale, stretch tall. Exhale, sink into it and pause. Left thumb and middle finger, grab the right wrist, gently tip towards the left. Enjoy the front of the right hip, whatever's happening there. Send it some love. One more breath. A little goes a long way. Softness. If you overdo it, it won't feel soft. You won't be able to relax in. Come back to center. Lower your hands to your sacrum. Press your fists towards the floor. Drop your shoulders down and back. And just enjoy a quick release here. Inhale deeply. Exhale, let it go. Release your hands. Bring them back to heart center. Hinge forward at the waist, halfway. Right elbow hooks onto the left knee, left upper leg coming into a high lunge twist. Breathing engaged here, lots of sensations, but soften in. Allow yourself to let go of the struggle. Tap into the ease and the softness. And notice how much that helps. Huge breath. Exhale, let it go. 2 more breaths here. If you need something different, grab a block or come back up to a high lunge. Come back to center, rise back upright into your high lunge and pause for a moment. We're going to shift into warrior three on this side. Taking a moment to set yourself up, ground your left foot into the earth, lift up your toes, lower them down, press off the back foot, shift forward into warrior three. Soften in as you shift. Notice that the resistance makes it more stressful. Breathe into it. And no judgment if your legs are different on this side. Bring your hands, whatever feels good here. Superman, hands to heart, lung in front. Play with it. Lower your back foot back. Come back to a high lunge. Reach your arms towards the sky. Inhale, stretch long, 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 and exhale, sink into the hip. One more time. Lower your hands to the floor. Hop your back foot forward, come into pyramid pose here. Spend some time here softening in. Use the blocks if that would feel good. You can come up onto your fists with a flat back. Inhale. And exhale, bend and fold fully. Allow the release. And soften into it wherever you need. If it's fun, lift up the toes on the left foot, lower them down. Lift up the heel on the right foot and lower it down. Inhale for a half lift once again. Back flat, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, fold forward completely. Huge inhale and exhale, let it go. Step the back foot forward. Come into an easy forward fold. Bring your hands to opposite elbows. Allow your head to fall forward. Huge release everywhere. Exhale, let it go. Lower your hands, engage your belly and roll up. One vertebrae at a time, unrolling pearls on the string. And when you arrive, enjoy it. Notice the shifts. Let everything accommodate. Close your eyes. Notice the softness that's there in this moment. Notice the breath percolating through every fingertip, every toe. Inhale once again. And exhale, release. We'll slowly come down to a seat. If you want to sit on a blanket, if that would feel good, you can, not needed. We're gonna stretch our legs long in front once again. Move the flesh of the seat out of the way once again. Bend the right knee, hug it in towards you. Hands on the shin, connect your sit bones, tilt your pelvis forward, breathe and fill up your spine, the whole chest with air as you hug that knee towards you. Exhale, let it go. Left hand reaches for the outer right foot. Stretch the right leg long if you can. Notice all of the sensations here. Gaze is at the left hand for the moment. Right hand can come behind you about 6 inches behind the right hip. Twist to the right. Gaze behind if that works for you. And if this doesn't work, you can leave your knee bent. You can bring your hand to the calf or the thigh. Inhale into every nook and cranny of tightness. And exhale, twist gently a little farther towards the right. Envision yourself floating here, balancing on one hip. Exhale, let it go. Come back to center, twist to center. Gently bend your right knee, release the left hand. Hug the knee in towards you, even out your hips. Hug it tight, sit tall and strong. And exhale, let it go. Stretch your leg long in front. Even out your hips. Bend the left knee, hug it in tight, tight, tight. Squeeze it. Tilt your pelvis forward, sit bones ground inward. Fill your chest with air. Exhale, release, hug it in tighter. Notice the right toes, point them towards the sky, right leg engaged. Right hand grabs the outer left foot, stretch your leg long in front. Enjoy the sensations here. Huge inhale and exhale. Bring your left hand 6 to 12 inches behind you. Inhale, tight, sit tall. Exhale, twist to the left if that feels good. 2 breaths here, breathing into it all. Softening in. Notice that the resistance doesn't help. 1 more breath. Softening every nook and cranny, bathing it with light and love, oxygen. Exhale, release. Twist your gaze back to center, bend the left knee, hug it in towards you, even yourself out. Huge hug. And exhale, release. Extend the left leg long in front. Move the flesh of your seat out of the way. Tilt your pelvis forward. Once again, sit up nice and tall. Flex your ankles, toes stretch wide, flex towards you. Bring your hands behind. Come into Dandasana or staff pose. Press your fingers in, shoulders down and back. Inhale. And exhale, let it go. 1 more inhale, bathing every nook and cranny in Dandasana. Staff pose, strong, everything engaged, even as you're seated. Exhale, let it go. Soften everything. Point your toes, flex your toes. Engage your belly, raise your arms to shoulder height and slowly roll yourself down, inch by inch by inch by inch, unrolling pearls on the string through your spine until you land on the earth. Take a moment to get comfortable, untuck anything, and allow yourself to settle, to relax fully. Use the breath to send yourself some love notes, little notes everywhere, kindness to anything that hurts or anything that feels tight still. Palms open towards the sky, letting the light come in through the palms, up through your arms, into that heart space, all the way down into your belly, down into your legs, and all the way into your toes. Softening, releasing, with intention, choosing to float here rather than resist. Perhaps close your eyes if that feels good and envision yourself floating once again on a smooth summertime lake. Enjoy all of it. Noticing the ease that's possible and the gift of that ease, even in the midst of the swirl. Flip your palms over, bend your knees, bring your heels towards your buttocks. Press into your hands, lift up into an easy bridge. Release the back body. Shimmy your shoulders underneath. Clasp your hands under your hips. Reach your hips high. If you wish, you can grab the side of your mat if that feels easier. Stretch the hips high, high, high towards the sky. Noticing all the sensations here. Make sure your feet are far enough in front that your knees are at least a 90-degree angle. Inhale, lift up high, 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 high. Release your hands, untuck your shoulders, and roll your spine down inch by inch till you land on the earth. Draw your knees into your chest and give them a lovely hug. Rock side to side, massage the sacrum. Bring your hands to the right shin. Hug the right knee in. Stretch the left leg long in front. Point the left toe. Inhale, hug the right knee in. Exhale, drop it into the right hip. Straight the right leg, hands come to the back of the hamstring. Point your toes towards the sky. Flex your toes towards your nose. Point your toes towards the sky. Flex them towards your nose. Bend your knee. Replace the right leg alongside the left and just notice how you feel for a moment. Palms 6 inches to the sides of your waist, open to the sky. Notice. Re-engage the right leg, flex the ankle, toes reach towards the sky. Bend the left knee, hug it in towards you. Huge inhale. Exhale, allow it to sink into the right hip socket. Notice the front of the right hip, send the breath there as well. As you hug the knee in towards you, left knee in. Exhale, let it sink into the right hip socket. Grab the back of the left thigh, straight your left leg towards the sky. Point your toe and flex your toe. Point your toe and flex your toe. One more, point that toe towards the sky. Floss the back of the leg, all the fascia waking up. Flex your ankles towards your nose, toes point towards your nose. Bend your knee. Stretch the left leg alongside the right and notice how it feels. Palms open to the sky. We'll come directly into Shavasana here today. Allowing yourself here to float. You can envision, if you wish, your yoga mat as a magic carpet, if that feels fun. Something we teach in kids yoga. And allowing yourself, as you let go and relax here, to go on a journey on that mat. And if that doesn't resonate, you can just lie on your mat as if it were a picnic blanket in the park on a sunny day with the breeze, perhaps hearing the rustling of the trees. If it works for your shoulders, palms open towards the sky, letting in that light and hope, possibilities, ease and softness. Take an inhale into the chest, letting it circulate everywhere. Exhale, releasing any final bits of tension out through your fingertips towards the sky, letting it blow away on the breeze wherever you are, flying in the sky or in the park, sending it into those leaves. For those of you who've been to Sagrada, I think of that tree by the picnic table. The way that the wind moves in those leaves. Can you just sense the stress and tension there? Huge inhale once again. And exhale, letting it float away as you float, softening in. Choosing to stop struggling and to find ease and softness for a few moments here on your mat. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take in a huge inhale. Stretch your fingers long above you and your toes long in front. Bathing every nook and cranny once again with oxygen. And let it go. Gently bring your knees into your chest and roll over to a side that feels good. And pause there. Allowing yourself a moment to regroup, to recenter, to come back into your body, bringing your mind, your heart, your spirit back into that body. And when you're ready, slowly rise up, all together, integrated, whole and healthy. Come back to a comfortable seat where we began. You can sit up atop something or on the mat. Connect your sit bones into the earth, engage your belly, and sit nice and tall. Stretch your spine all the way up through your neck, through the crown of your head, sending the crown of your head towards the beautiful springtime light. Exhale, release, letting things go on the wind. Bring a hand to heart and another hand atop. Thanking yourself for choosing to practice today, for taking some time for you, for perhaps being willing to soften and find some more ease. To practice floating, knowing that it's not always easy to let go of the struggle, but that when we do, the floating feels amazing. Bring your hands to heart center, thumbs connect to your sternum. Take a moment to set an intention for the time ahead, whatever time frame feels right to you. How might this idea of breathing, sending yourself love through the breath, softening, finding ease, and floating be incorporated into your own life? In whatever way feels good. 1 degree change, lots of change, whatever feels good. Is there some tiny shift that you can make to bring a little bit more of that into your life as you move forward off the mat on this beautiful day? Take in an inhale to seal in that intention. Exhale, let it go. Thank you all so much for practicing with me today. May you all have a beautiful week filled with softness, ease, and much less floating, much less struggle, and much more floating. Namaste.